Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. I dedicate this to the absolute, bigger, better, good God and truth of you. You know, I'd like to speak to you today about the he shafting blue devil of you. Now, I'll tell you, this old devil of you come from a negative of God, which is Pista Sophia, a female Adam, right? And as she was being created, she copulated with herself, right? Negative with negativity, and it created the blue devil of her. It almost caused her to destroy herself to one nothing. And if you watch any of my other videos, I go into detail about that. But the more positive energy of God turned up and overwhelmed her negative of matter, right? And caused her to explode, okay? And the two energies, one's a positive energy, a more male energy, right? If you plug in a wall, the male has to overwhelm the female, or you burn your whole house down, right? The female's the negative, and the male's the positive. So the male went to one point, and that was E equals MC squared, where something's more positive as its matter. It's stated more good as truth to the absolute bigger and better of it here and now, okay? So that is the proton. It went to all things protonic, positive and good with its energy. Snake bite of nothing, okay? And then the rest of it went to the static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy of Pista Sophia, which I said in my last video, and I believe I might have said already in this video, just in case I didn't. Her name is Faith, because she copulated negative with negativity without a more positive flow of the energy of God, the thieving Holy Spirit of the good truth of Jesus Christ. I am one more positive than a negative, okay? And when she copulates that way, right, she created the first he shafting blue devil of us, okay? Now, the world was created, and Adam came to himself, and Yada Bayoff, or Samuel, or Eva, because it was a he shafting devil of us at that point. That was at Adam. And Adam, he understood he was created good as truth, but he had no bearings on reality to stay connected to it. So, to stay more positive than a negative. So he crossed nutty and fruity, okay? A snake bit lie on himself, okay? Blind and undefined. A he shaft from that devil and them nagas in the garden, okay? And you can go to the Nag Harmony Library, and you can go to the Coburn Bible and the book of Pista Sophia to explain these things out to you a little bit more in depth. But for the conversation I'm having today, okay, the royalty of the world, okay, they stayed ancestral all the way up to the 19th century, and even right now they are, okay? King Charles, okay? Now, to be ancestral that way, okay, to copulate with yourself, okay, is negative of a positive variety, right? The good truth of your matter only crossing a bigger and better. And what happened is the he shafting devil overthrew the men of old and the god kings of the world, and Adam was their god and their king. He was the father of that creation, and when he came to himself, it was destroyed, and he had no bearings on reality. And the he shafting devil, okay, because I want to show you something. Negative energy, right, before it's produced in the matter, is just static, twisted, scattered, undefined, okay? Now, that's the devil of all things with energy, because when you get hit with static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy, right, it's a negative charge on you, okay? Now, more positive energy, right, is a good charge as truth on your matter. So when you take that energy inside of you without producing it more positive, right, It's a he shafting devil on you. You copulate with yourself without the more positive, good variety of things that could only make you bigger and better. Okay? And it's the he shafting devil of all faith. Okay? It's the bad way, the sinful way, the evil way of all faith. Okay? And when you cross one more positive than a negative always, right? From the inside out at 360 degrees, however you have to in reality check, well, that is the good truth of you only adding up, right? To a bigger, better here and now of you, right? The bad way of nothing, the neutral nothing, the sinful way of nothing, the he shafted devil, and the faith of nothing. Because you can believe that in reality check, right? That any static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy hitting you, it only does it one way, negatively. And that is the devil of it. When you incarnate it out from the mind, through the body, to the world. The only way you can with faith, the bad way of it, right? The sinful way of it, right? The evil way of it, the he shafting, devilishly delusional, nutty, fruity, bushwhacking way of it, okay? Now, I want to talk about this. If we're all made of atoms, like I spoke in other videos, right? And these atoms only bond more positive than negative to keep us good as the truth of our shape, form, and mass, right? Well, when they don't, okay? When they don't, the neutrons of us become slightly radioactive to where they cannot hold their bond good as truth, more positive than negative to reality check. But I want to show you something. Listen to me. Every time you give negativity time to grow, negative with negativity, you become that way, okay? Whether it's a blind side or you think it's intentionally, well, it's always a blind side. Even the most intentional negativity, if a fool knew a more positive way, they just would not do it. That's the good truth of how we learn and add up bigger and better. So I'm going to stay out of that mind fucker theory right now, because Freud was out of his damn mind to say, oh, we're going to give negatives time for anything. You give a negative nothing. You hear me? No energy for it. You only cross to a more positive way, good as true. But, you know, what can you say, man? Freud just was utterly lacking, and his cocaine habit probably didn't help. You know, I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. So, anyways, if that's a fact, right, that the atom is negative and it's positive, but the positive always has to overwhelm the negative, well, you can believe, right, from time to time, right, you will have static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy that will overwhelm the positive charge, right, of you, and it will be a blind side. Now, if you don't know that blind side ain't the bad of you, it ain't the sinful way of you, it ain't the evil of you, it's just a negative way on you, you have to always just cross more positive to be good as true, well, you won't always do it. And that is the faith of you. That is the evil of you. That is the bad way of you. That is the he shafting devil of you. And it's also a demonic urge on you. Listen to me. Every time you cross negative with negativity, you cross a bias, okay? And that bias is a horde. It's saying that what's more positive is not the good truth of it, okay? Now, here's the thing about that, right? It's the same reality in all things. It's that way, okay? When Pistis Sophia copulated with herself negative with negativity, it was a gravity. It was a gravity. It was a dragon on her to create that blue-blooded he shafted devil of us. But as it happened, all that matter started to come to one negative point. And when like the aristocrats did it, okay, they hoarded. They were hoarders of resources. They were such hoarders. They bred with each other. They copulated with each other to keep these resources. And they passed this on to the architects of the world to be this way. Now, some of them are this way because of history, you know, where their ancestry come from. And this is what they was brought up to. And they absolutely know what they're doing is wrong. But they're not defined in that wrong, so therefore they don't give a shit. They think they're going to die anyways, and that's just the reality of it. But I'm telling you right now, okay, to have more than what makes you positive, good-ass truth always to an absolute bigger, better of you here and now is a negative on you. If I put too much energy, right, into the bonds of into my embodiment of matter, well, even if it's positive, right, it's going to be too much. You see, that's why there's a fluctuation of energy. Like when you get hit with negativity, okay, depending on the flow of that energy, right, into that negative. I said positive, but I'm saying energy, okay? Well, that energy, okay, without being defined more positive than a negative always, right? It's a fluctuation of all matter. And it causes the neutrons, right, to take on a charge. And it's the mutation of your embodied matter. See, because your neutrons are negatively charged always. Only the protons of you overwhelm them neutrons. So when it's not overwhelming the neutrons, them neutrons are a black hole matter on the whole embodiment of matter that it's stating, okay? And that black hole matter consumes that embodiment of matter to one neutral nothing, because outside of a atom, right, a holy atom, more positive atom, more male atom than a female atom, because you can split a female atom with fission and fusion. But a wholly positive atom that you're made of, outside of that atom, that neutron is always in a state of decay and disintegration. Negative to one, nothing of it, just static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy. And this is what you do to your embodiment of matter, man, when you copulate like the aristocrats of you, or like the richest 1% of you, or if you believe that caging your fellow man and blowing that fool up, right, is the absolute bigger, better, good God and truth of you more positive, you will die of that eventually, because that mindset is a mind fuck. You hear me? It's no good as truth. It's negative as hell, man. You hear me? Listen to me, man. I'm going to explain something to you. It's a hard thing to do. Look, we're all fools to it. We get hurt, we get smashed, we get angry, right? These things, we get angry, we get sad, we get upset, we become ashamed. But we're better than animals. Listen to me. We're better than animals. As soon as we stop acting that way, right? And we take a second, we can always do more positive than the negatives of us. And if our leadership was behind that always, well, the prisons, the jails, the wars would not exist. And their money would be good as truth to the bigger and better of them forever. But the way this world is set up, it's set up through a demiurge, okay, of the richest 1%. And they copulate with themselves, right, to keep themselves rich, okay? And everybody else is a blind slavery, okay? And they are a demiurge of faith, okay? Now listen to me. Used to be the blue blood aristocrats, and they're probably in on it too. But it definitely is a demiurge, right? Now check me out. Of the richest 1% of the world of you. Listen, there's no secrets here. Okay? Russia, America, Israel, Iran, you hear me? It's all fluctuation of money. And how that money enhances the quality and the life of your people. Listen to me. If your leadership, right, is any kind of leadership, right, and somebody comes and they do something to you, man, and they hurt your people, they hurt your land, they hurt your way, okay? And your way is a positive way. You know, you're just doing bigger and better than any negativity of it, right? You go to them people and you plead to them people, man. You plead to them people with sincerity, with honesty. And you say, hey, where are we coming up short? What can we do as our people, not only to make this negative nothing, but to enhance the quality of not only our own lives, but yours. How can we, right here now, collaboratively grow more positive together than a negative? And you never, ever do it by shooting your fellow man, blowing up your fellow man, or destroying Mother Earth, the land. Look, I want to show you something. Until I showed up and explained this out, right? Mankind, you were in a blind, negative state of perpetual decay and disintegration from birth to death. Okay? The best of our leadership, all they knew to do was hoard resources and live as good as they can. Fuck it, we're going to die anyways. You hear me? We'll give it to our kids. Now listen to me. We have been he shafted from prehistory with this. Nobody's at fault. But this has to change you. If it doesn't, if the knowledge of the good of God, the King of all, creation of existence, of reality, check I am, how could I never not be? Right? Doesn't affect you, man, and change you, it will kill you in reality, because it's a more positive, good way of life as truth that cannot be destroyed by your negativity. See, all creation of existence alone, without knowing to cross more positive than a negative, right, is no good as truth by itself. And mankind, we were created to be antibodies of Mother Earth. Okay? Like your cells have antibodies that protect them. That's what we was created for Mother Earth to be, okay? And not just Mother Earth, for all creation of existence to reality check. We're supposed to be here to terraform all things of infinity forever. But every time you cross negative with negativity, and you incarnate this he shafting devil, and it's an unevolved way to be. And it's absolute blind suicide to your reality check. And it has the most richest, articulate people doing the most deranged, crazy, nutty, fruity things with their leadership, man. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. If what you're doing is selling out others, man, it's killing you also. And anybody it can kill is only blind to the fact that they need to do more positive than the negatives of you in reality check. The demiurge is the richest 1% of us. They are the overhead leadership of all things. And it's a trickle-down effect through the religions of us, because they're all faith-based. None of them are good as truth, because not one of them will tell you go do more positive than your negatives. That's the evil of nothing. That's the bad way of nothing. You hear me? That's the devilishly delusional, nutty, fruity, bushwhacking way of nothing, man. It's a snake bite of nothing on you, man. It's the absolute good truth of you only crossing bigger and better. And they won't tell you that because none of them are. And it's a reflection back on their existence. That's the static, twisted, scattered, undefined devil of them. You hear me? As a coagulating force, as the highest force of Earth there is. See, there's no aliens. There never was. There's just men and women who are alien to what is good as truth. A lion-head snake on what is good as truth, with faith, fully blind and undefined, out of their bushwhacked minds. And that's a fact check. But as soon as they bow and submit, rightfully, truthfully, to the full thief, man, God, King of all I am, their prosperity is endless. God, truth, a reality check. Peace.